This is amazing. I find that I'm saying that quite often though. Today I'm heading out to the coast of British Columbia. It's the end of August and the weather is beautiful. Light winds and sunny skies. If you haven't done any coastal flying in BC, it's amazing. There are so many fjords and inlets. The scenery is spectacular. The scenery is spectacular anywhere in the mountains, but flying around the coastal mountains is something special. You regularly see whales and often pods of orcas and dolphins. The area we went into was absolutely stunning. White sand beaches and turquoise water, a popular place for sailboats. However, the ocean is a whole different ballgame. While I didn't have to worry much about density altitude or short landing surfaces, I did have to worry about the tide. During low tide, some rocks that were 10 feet below the surface and not a factor may now only be a foot or two below the surface. Some areas that have sufficient water levels for landing at high tide might now be too shallow to land at low tide. And then there's beaching the airplane. As I've almost found out a few times, an airplane on the beach in the ocean will quickly float away if the tide's on its way in, and will quickly become stuck on the beach if the tide's on its way out. When I'm beaching the airplane, I always look for a sandy bottom if possible. If it's windy, I'm also looking to beach the airplane where there's an onshore wind. I personally find it a lot easier to control the seaplane when I have a tailwind upon beaching. For me, it's very easy to spin the airplane around and park it heels to the shore when there's an onshore wind. The airplane will even turn itself around if the wind is strong enough. The wind also keeps the airplane on the beach. If there is no wind, I don't find it to be of great importance. But the float plane will always turn into the wind. This concept is of great importance when docking with a tailwind. Ideally, I'd like to tie the airplane off so that it's always floating. But sometimes I don't have anything onshore to tie to. Or possibly the area is too confined, so that a floating airplane will end up bumping into the terrain. I had a few close calls where the airplane started to drift away as the tide was coming in, and also one instance where I had to drive the airplane off the beach as the tide went out much faster than I was anticipating. I now pay very close attention to the airplane when it's beached on the ocean. If the tide is going out, it doesn't take long before the airplane is so beached it can't be moved. If you beach the plane at high tide and you get stuck, you'll have a 12-hour wait for high tide again. If you beach the airplane near low tide and it gets stuck, the embarrassment might only last a few hours. This is amazing. I find that I'm saying that quite often though. Flying around in this seaplane. Anyway, I'm gonna spin it around here. Let my wonderful passengers out. Water's really cold.
Yeah, I do. But I'm gonna slide through. Want it? Yes.
Tide's on its way in, I believe.
Woohoo!
Look at this.
Woohoo!
Oh, wow.
So awesome. Okay, I'm finding the bathroom spot in the back.
Whoa. Okay, we got to keep an eye on that airplane so that it doesn't float away because the tide is likely on its way in. White Sand Beach, West Coast, British Columbia. Time to say goodbye to this place. Hopefully I get to come back here. That looks good to me. Thank God. It would have been a great spot to get stuck, but thank God we didn't. I became a pilot because I crave the constant learning. The videos I create are in no way meant to be instructional. I make these videos to share my experiences as I grow and to provide a channel for anyone who wants to reach out to me to speak about testicular cancer or ulcerative colitis. I also like to be creative, and I'll likely experiment with some different formats as I move forward. I've also reached 1,000 subscribers recently. I would like to thank everyone who has subscribed. It motivates me to continue to create. If you know someone who may be interested in this type of content, please share one of my YouTube shorts or full-length videos with them. It will continue to help me create content. You can also follow my Instagram account. Thanks for watching.